Welcome to Timebeat Breaking News channel. Here are our breaking news today.
1. As the Ganges fills with COVID victims, a stench of death pervades rural India. 2. As India's variant surges, ministers are considering loosening COVID laws.
COVID-19. As the Ganges fills with COVID victims, a stench of death pervades rural India. As the virus continued to spread out of the big cities and into rural areas, India recorded another all-time high of 4,400 deaths on Wednesday. Experts say the true death toll from the coronavirus pandemic in India is up to 5 times higher, and the bodies that have started washing up in India's holiest river have become eerie representations of the uncounted COVID dead. However, there is no official count of the number of bodies discovered in the last 2 weeks along the Ganges River in the poor rural states of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, or buried in shallow sandy graves along the riverbank in Uttar Pradesh. More than 2,000 people have been counted by locals and journalists. Police have been deployed along the river to prevent immersions and claim to have cleared most of the bodies from the river, even erecting nets across the Ganges on the Uttar Pradesh-Bihar border. But many bodies were still visible near Narva Ghat in Gamar. The impact of the pandemic on India's rural villages, which are home to 65% of the country's population and lack basic healthcare facilities, will almost certainly never be understood.
COVID-19. As India's variant surges, ministers are considering loosening COVID laws. Ministers are considering watering down plans for England's Independence Day on June 21 and delaying the end of all social distancing laws, after new data revealed a sharp rise in the COVID variant first discovered in India. Matt Hancock, the health secretary, said no decision on whether all restrictions would be lifted a week later, as expected, will be taken until June 14. The number of reported cases of B.1.617.2 in the UK has now risen to 2,967, according to the Health Secretary. From 2,323 on Monday, this was up by 28% in just 2 days. Officials have looked at using COVID qualification in places like pubs and restaurants to help eliminate the need for social distancing, but ministers have now dismissed the idea. Pubs and restaurants, for example, are eager for the distancing regulations to be scrapped as soon as possible so that they can serve more customers. The rising prevalence of the variant has prompted new questions about whether the government should have acted sooner in putting India on the red list of countries where travel is effectively prohibited, a decision that was taken on April 23. The Prime Minister's spokesperson announced on Wednesday that direct flights from India continued to arrive in the UK. He said it was so that UK people could return safely, and stressed that they would be subject to the strict hotel quarantine regime on arrival.
Thank you for watching. We help you stay up to date all the news hourly. Please subscribe our channel to follow up the latest one.